Simon, welcome to Zim.
Good morning.
You spent, how many days is it now? 4 or 5 days in Zimbabwe. It's your trip back into
First ever.
Africa, first ever to Southern Africa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Although you did have some time in Kenya some time ago.
Mm-hmm.
What have been your first impressions of Zim? I think certainly from a tech perspective. What have you noticed? What has it been like?
Well, I've got to start the non-tech, haven't I? What an amazing country. Absolutely love it. And cannot wait to go home and tell people about it and also come back myself.
I'm sure.
Lovely country, lovely people.
Good.
Lots of surprises.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one springs to mind?
I just think the warmth of the people here is stunning. And, the tech industry, wow. Early days, I think, here.
Early days.
I do see it's greenfield. I think there's an awful lot of legacy that I've seen. I've seen some very talented people, extremely talented people. Mm-hmm. But the general tech education is very low.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity to take the country, companies, individuals, a great leap forward.
There certainly is. That's how we feel. We've been playing in the space for 20 odd years, and we just see year on year on year this march forward into sort of deeper technical insights. Yeah. We're applying technology in incredible ways. Yeah. And the incredible thing is, Simon, it's interesting that you say that, because it's nice to hear a fresh perspective, because I guess you're eating and breathing Northern Hemisphere tech advancement and come down into...
Well, I've got a lovely job that I travel around the world, so I see economies, companies of all different levels.
You do.
And so, again, what I've seen here is very impressive. But there's big opportunity here, because that legacy tech and undoubtedly lack of connectivity has been it remains a big issue. And so Starlink and other connectivity options is really going to help bring this country forward very quickly.
It is, hey. Yeah. And we're leapfrogging. Yeah. It's very interesting that we've been a traditional infrastructure-based ISP, fiber-based for 17 years. Mm-hmm. And the rate of growth we're seeing with the adoption of low Earth orbit satellite solutions is 20x. Yeah. So it's not often you can have a growth rate of 20 times what it has been for the past. But I guess that's what tech is doing. It's just accelerating adoption.
Yeah. But it's based on, it needs that connectivity, from not only in the WAN, but out to the outstations, around the country.
It is. Yeah. It is. So although we're to some extent blinkered by really focusing on this market, we can really still see the potential. And I guess you coming from abroad and looking at this must be really startling to think.
Absolutely.
There is potential. Yeah. I'm glad you see it, because we're really excited about the future.
Yeah. As you should be.
As we should be. Good. Simon, please could you tell us a little bit about Civo's product offering and how you see those fitting into our market?
Okay. I guess it starts with the public cloud, and most people understand the public cloud, global compute storage capability around the world.
Yes.
Yeah, we play in that market. I think the relevance for Zimbabwe is we have a product offering that is very suited for your stage in technology. It's advanced. Simon? It's advanced, but it doesn't have all the complexity, bells and features that, quite frankly, you don't need at this stage.
Yeah.
And probably don't have that mass education in tech that is required to do that. So great public cloud, and undoubtedly price is always important. And that's particularly in all emerging markets. We're typically about 60% cheaper than the hyperscalers.
And you're right. We're a very, very price sensitive market.
All emerging markets are.
Is that natural?
It's a natural thing. And so I think in public cloud, through Frampol, we've got a great offering here. What really marks us out is our difference is our ability to take the same functionality as the public cloud and deliver it privately.
Yeah.
So in the Frampol data center or in the local company's data center, whether that be in Harare, an outstation, wherever it may be.
Interesting.
Okay? And that ability to have the same functionality. So I can have a private cloud. I can have workloads. Actually, I'm going to move to the public cloud. Actually, no, I'm going to bring them back to my private cloud. Is unique. No one else is offering that capability.
And Simon, you're competing head to head with which other providers?
Well, really on the public cloud,
Yeah.
it's got to be the hyperscalers, companies you might have heard of, like AWS, Microsoft Azure, etc.
Mhm.
But again, in the private cloud, they don't compete there because they don't offer that capability.
Right. Quite right. So the Google Suite, Google Cloud,
Mhm.
AWS, Amazon services, Azure, the Microsoft offering.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Data privacy, security, and increasingly sovereignty is very important. And therefore, you want something deployed in country.
Absolutely. And none of those three provide that.
None of them can do that.
Our nearest CDN or data center for those is in South Africa.
Correct.
Actually, and we've got different data protection laws.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to have your data secure in country. That means that the Zimbabwean laws are protecting that data. You're not looking to see what's that law in England, in Germany, in South Africa.
Yep. And what's of particular interest is in the last 12 months, data protection laws in Zim are now burnt into legislation.
As they should be.
As they should be.
As they should be.
And it's maybe the timing couldn't be better.
Yeah. I mean, throughout the world, people are understanding the power and value of data.
Indeed.
And that's why our politicians are waking up and protecting them by law, because it becomes a national asset.
It's a national asset.
Yeah.
We're certainly seeing a lot of companies are very concerned about data protection and where their data is housed. And you know what, Simon, that concern has historically been focused on their loss of connectivity to that foreign data center.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why our data center services in Zim really took off over the last 15 years, is because people wanted their data here. They wanted to move their server to the cloud, but they didn't want that to be outside the borders. They wanted to be able to drive on a road to access it if need be.
Yeah, I think that's very natural, but I think you're talking historically. Yeah. What you need to look at is not only here, but throughout the world, companies and countries are worried about big tech. Can they trust big tech?
Interesting.
Yeah. Particularly, today big tech is American tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not all wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some very good things there. But can I trust them? They have control of my data. Are they using my data? Are other people accessing my data? Do I have control of that data? And then, unfortunately, there is too many use cases where what we've been told for years has transpired not to be true.
Yeah.
And therefore, again, companies want to take control of my data. That means it's secure, it's private, and it's sovereign.
And they've got incredible flexibility. Like you said, they can move it publicly, they can move it privately, they can move it nationally, and they've got that flexibility. That's super unique.
And then also in countries such as Zimbabwe, you often want to go from public to private, and then maybe much smaller capabilities. We call it edge cloud, out at an outstation, at a remote mine factory, where again, you need that local processing power. You might not have the connectivity before you take it back to your private cloud to potentially your public cloud.
And in emerging markets in Zimbabwe, mining is huge. That's all happening in areas where there's very poor connectivity, but they need the processing power at that site. Agriculture, that's booming. Biggest tobacco crop.
And I've seen that
last year.
Absolutely. I mean, our flight across country, we saw so many examples of that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
In very remote areas.
Lovely.
But they've all got access to the sky. The low Earth orbit satellite solutions certainly can make a big difference. Simon, there's a huge buzz around AI. We're super excited about Civo's AI offering. Please tell us a little bit about that and how you see that fitting into this particular market.
We've got a great AI offering. We've got examples in country here where people are using GPUs to make quicker their ability to process data. Yeah, there's one great example here. Customer of yours who had a customer report. It was taking about a month to calculate that.
Indeed.
Continuous processing power for 1 month before that report was output. Using GPUs, you have reduced that to about 2 hours.
Yeah, quite right. So transform their operation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And throughout the world, we are seeing companies using GPUs to accelerate their time to value, their time to insight. And quite frankly, your customer, that's exactly what they're doing. They're getting insight in a couple of hours, not a month later.
That's right. Yeah. And that makes a resolution of a month means there's zero ability to adapt quickly.
Absolutely.
He's a month behind at best. Now he's hours behind.
Absolutely. Absolutely correct. Yeah. So GPUs, very important. I think you'll see a big growth of that.
Why do you think we will, Simon? It's an emerging market. Why do you think we're going to leapfrog very quickly to that?
I think leapfrog is probably too strong.
Mm-hmm.
I think that all companies are generating a lot more data.
Yeah.
And data, you need processing power.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it, really. It's just there's going to be this. We've got this data. We're not using it. We need insights quickly. What platforms are available?
Absolutely correct. Yeah, most people think of AI. The average man in the street thinks of AI as an AI assistant. Products like the classic we talk about all is ChatGTP.
Yeah.
There's a user interface that you ask questions, or you ask it to rewrite my email or rewrite this sales report for me.
They see it as Google on steroids, you're saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly that. And greatly enhances productivity. I think we all use them. It's typically an office worker type use is the standard use case.
That's what we're seeing.
Yeah. I'm an office worker, rewrite that report, analyze these numbers for me, etc.
That's exactly what we're seeing.
Now, these products are very good. There's probably two issues that typically people see. Is one, they often use several of the products because you get slightly different answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so you end up asking the same question to two or three of these assistants and deciding which answer you like best, or sit there copying and pasting. I like paragraph 1 from this and paragraph 2 from that.
Exactly what we're doing,
Okay.
Yes.
And the second big issue, and frankly, I think it's the bigger issue, is go back to our earlier conversation: privacy, security, sovereignty.
Yeah.
These assistants all reside out of country, most likely in North America. You have got no assurity of how that data is being processed. Is it training models for your potential competitors? And so we talk all the time. I'm seeing around the world people saying, I want surety. The data is private. It's my data. No one else should benefit from that data. I want it secure, means that only I can access it. And actually, I want to know I can always access it. That service can be withdrawn from me.
Yes.
And then finally, I want sovereignty. I want Zimbabwe laws to protect my data, not laws of other countries.
Interesting.
And unfortunately, the AI assistants we're typically using today offer none of those. Okay.
Which means we make a company using OpenAI's ChatGPT, Claude, Grok. They're making a query. They're uploading a company document. That's not safe in that ecosystem. It's
correct.
It's being used for ongoing training.
It is most likely
to be.
Correct.
And Civo's offering says no.
So what we're offering is a very comparable product. I would naturally argue it's better because actually we use 3 models within our product. The big models of ChatGTP, Llama from Meta,
yes,
and also DeepSeek.
Yes, we know them all.
Therefore, we're getting the best answer from the 3 models rather than going into 3 separate products.
Good.
Okay. But we're also guaranteeing to you that we will not be training on your data. And therefore, it's been asked several times the last couple of days, is DeepSeek safe to use? Well, my answer is yes, because DeepSeek through us is not being trained on your data.
Absolutely.
And so it's a one-way relationship.
Absolutely.
You are benefiting from DeepSeek. We are not giving the data back to them.
Yeah.
Giving them benefit of our data.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
Yeah.
Simon, it sounds like it sounds like this may be an expensive solution for an emerging market like Zimbabwe. Do you think it'll come at a price point that's workable for this industry, for this market?
Absolutely. As we talked earlier, price points are always important for emerging markets. So, you will see today Relax is available, as you know, through Frampol. It is cheaper than the competitive markets, that products we've talked about. We hope very shortly to be able to actually say it's deployed in country. It is a sovereign capability. That's a future thing, but hopefully a very near future. We've talked about what I call the user interface, the UI.
Yes.
It's the office worker sitting on his desktop, seeing the familiar look of an AI assistant. The real power of this, and where we're seeing the real use in other countries, is through what we call the API.
API access.
And what that means is you've got another program package, maybe your SAP system, your CRM system, your financial system, some application that's typically unique to your industry. Finance, finance, agriculture, mining.
Yes.
What contains your data. And you actually want the benefit of AI using your application, your data. So an API allows me to take the data from your application out to an AI assistant programmatically, do some analysis.
I can see the potential.
Enhance the data and take it back to your application. And we're seeing so many examples, whether that be a hospital taking a CAT scan, a brain scan, take it out to AI, do some manipulation, enhancement of the image, bringing it back. It might be a CRM system, a help desk system, where typically the operator might be giving very poor answers. It's being taken out to the
brilliant
AI to enhance the English, enhance the technical response, enhance the customer service quality.
You can understand that.
Take it back. So many, many examples of programmatically using an assistant.
Now, effectively, in summary, Simon, correct me if I'm wrong, the AI models that we're all generally using, whether it's Grok or ChatGPT or Gemini or Relax AI, as a user, is just making the human superhuman, as it were.
Absolutely.
However, if we now connect to Relax AI via an API, that's making our applications AI supercharged.
Absolutely.
And that's, of course, where there is benefit, because that's organizational wide, not just individual.
Absolutely correct. And that you've hit the key there. Is today we're using it individually as the office worker.
Yes.
This is now putting it into the organization's application and data source.
Incredible.
At the heart of the company.
I can see that if we leverage our data science team at Frampol and our software development team at Frampol, and we integrate customers' back-end systems into this, we're actually effectively accelerating their AI journey very quickly.
Absolutely. And I've been very impressed by your team in the last few days of the quality of the capability and the understanding of how this is done. And we've already seen some really good use cases of them delivering that to customers. So,
you have. Very exciting. Simon, in short, Frampol's been playing in the local cloud space, bringing a data center to Zimbabwe since 2010, really, 15 years. Where do you see companies, or how do you see Civo and Frampol taking this technology in the next 12, 24, 36 months? If you were to fantasize, for want of a better word, or you were to look into your crystal ball, where do you see this potentially going?
It's always very hard to predict the future. None of us have got that crystal ball. But there's some things that I've seen consistently as countries grow and emerge here. It's absolutely the case that deploying tech itself can be relatively straightforward. And it's not about replacement. If you're looking just to replace what you've got with something new, quite frankly, you are not going to survive as a company. Yeah. We've talked many times over the last few days about taking the 10x step.
Yes.
And that's what companies need to do to survive in a global world.
They do.
And that's not just Zimbabwe, it's the whole of Southern Africa. Yeah. Now, to do that, you need to be working with a team, with a partner, maybe even have staff that have the vision, have the creativity, have the insight into what's the art of the possible to do. And as a relatively small company, that's very hard to do.
Yes.
Okay. And therefore, I see with Frampol, with your team, with the 1,000+ companies you're working with, you are having that insight. You can gain that creativity to benefit other customers.
Yeah.
And particularly in the world of AI, that experience, that ability to say, here's a case study, here's a use case, and understand that how it can work, will bring tremendous value into relatively small companies that don't have the depth of IT knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So creativity is absolutely important in delivering a 10, 15-year vision.
Simon, it's very interesting that you mentioned that, because one of the things we've done in Zim for the last 20 years is we've enabled companies to get the latest in tech, the best in technical support, without having to make that capital investment themselves. Our data center here is hosting maybe 300 companies' data, something like that. And imagine we're running all of that on shared infrastructure. It's one solar plant, it's one cooling system, it's an array of servers that are sweating, but we've saved the country foreign exchange, because every one of those 300 companies have not gone and invested in their own solar system, their own server. Imagine the shared cost saving.
Absolutely.
And we've then been able to also accelerate their own operational efficiencies, because they can connect wherever they are. It's an always on data center. They would have struggled to achieve that in simple 2015 terms.
No, I think you've demonstrated very well for 10, 15 years, you've been delivering the promise of the cloud to your customers.
Well put.
What we are doing together is we're taking the next generation of cloud and the next generation of capability, and also overlaying that with AI in a way that is scalable, it's variable.
Yeah.
So customers are paying for what they want, not for a static sunk cost.
Absolutely. Where they've now got to invest apply capital to something that they now depreciate. Now it turns into an operating expense that they can scale up or down.
Absolutely correct.
And not just platform as a service or infrastructure as a service, but now AI as a service or data science as a service. We're really excited, Simon. I mean, I think from an Africa-wide perspective, from a Zimbabwean perspective, we've seen the potential, but I suspect we are seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full potential. We're seeing very little.
You're at the start line.
We're at the starting line.
And I'm looking forward to running the race together.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great partnership.
It certainly will be.
I believe that.
It certainly will be. Simon, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
In closing, what are you going to take back to your family and to your colleagues back in Europe about your experience in Zimbabwe over the last 5 days?
It's got to be that double-sided. On a personal level, what a great country. We're coming back here for holiday. There is so much to it, so much more than I'd ever realized.
Really?
On a professional level, there's some great people. There's some very talented people here. We need to help them with the tech, with the insights, with the use cases, to work alongside you and deliver on the promise. Yeah.
That's what we're saying too.
Yeah.
Simon, thank you.
Thank you.